Oopsie, I had a bit of a um snafu. I can't even think about the word. Anyway, today we're going to talk about Google autocomplete. It's kind of funny, kind of weird. So I'll roll my intro that I haven't changed yet, and then I'll be back. Boom! Let's do this. Well, hello there. Okay, so I've got to be honest, I wasn't feeling it today, right? And so I was just thinking, what is funny? Like, when you think about autocomplete, your phone does it, right? So like your phone will turn the word yoga into Yoda, or you're texting your favorite expletive that starts with F and it comes out duck. Although my phone has learned who I am, I think, quite well, because it no longer comes out with duck. I don't have to change it anymore. So when you just think about like a general search, when people search weird stuff on the Googs, so they'll type bizarre things in for all kinds of reasons. So maybe they're just kids getting homework help, or an adult that shouldn't be left alone with Wi-Fi, which could be me sometimes, or maybe they're just curious about dumb things, or just need to look something up because they want to know about it. So like maybe you Google something like, do fish get thirsty? I mean, they live in water, but do they need water? Or can a chicken fly a plane? What do you think? So autocomplete works and then backfires sometimes for the same type of reason. Oh, I got a comment. Pam! I get duck a lot. Yeah, I don't get it anymore, so that's funny. I'll have to see, because I don't know if autocorrect's different from text to, like, if you're texting in like Messenger or just a regular text or whatever. But yeah, okay. So here's Google autocomplete. It's supposed to help you, right? So like predict what you're typing so you don't have to spell out the whole thing. Like, because you remember the T9 days when you were like, hi, and you had to do all those things because it would be like 3 letters on one. So it would take forever. But it also backfires, and it exposes what thousands of other people have searched. So that's why when you type, why is my ... it'll finish with something like, why is my cat vibrating? Something like that. So, and it's funny because it doesn't have anything to do with you and your specific like questions from the past. So we'll talk about that in a second. So underneath the humor, these searches will show us that people everywhere are curious. Maybe they're insecure, maybe they're hilarious in some ways. So like, why am I always tired? That's relatable. Geez, learn to speak. Is water wet? What a question. So if you're looking it up, I looked up stuff from here, okay? And all this is just for fun. Okay, so I typed in like this. You start typing something like, what is the problem with? And then you get these weird things like direct injection. I don't know what SIG P30 is, the American Eagle ad. Eating blueberries for breakfast. Cracker Barrel logo. This is just funny. What's the problem with blueberries? I don't know. You tell me. So then another example would be, is it, like, maybe you're going to say, is it possible? So you type in, is it pos? And these come up. Is it possible to be allergic to water? That's a good question. Can you die from a broken heart? Is it possible to be born with pink hair? Can you lose a pound a day? Is it possum or a possum? Is it possible to have purple eyes? And is it possible to bring back dinosaurs? So those are the kinds of things that'll pop up. Kind of funny, don't you think? So what I did was I went to the Reader's Digest Google thing where they had put some pictures on there. So we're going to do that, and then we'll compare, because I did my own. Oh, if you see my logo up there too, it's fall, even though it's still 80, 90 degrees here in Phoenix, but what are you going to do? So here's the first one. So it would say, why does my husband, and that says, look at other women, blame me for everything, lie, fart so much. So the one I looked up, why does my husband yell at me, hate me, blame me for everything, snore so loud? You can read some of these and I'll skip some of them. Look at other women, sweat so much at night. A couple of other ones had fart at night also. So then here's another one. Why do I, and this is sad, why do I have no friends? Why do I have to pee so much? Why do I have gas? Why do I have green poop? Now, have you ever looked up stuff like that? Are you ever curious? Do you do Dr. Google when you have symptoms and look these things up? All right, so here's the one I looked up. Why do I don't know what that is. Keep getting, why do I clear my throat? Why do I sweat so much? Feel nauseous, bruise so easily? Why do I wake up with a headache? Now, those are pretty generic questions, right? She is a good girl. She's a man. She's a maniac. She's a maniac. She's a keeper. I think this is the one. I went to some that were like in incognito mode because I wanted to see if it'd be different. This is one of those. And it just gave me this. She is a ship. I mean, I guess that could be feasible because don't you usually name ships by women's names? Okay. I think I might be a sociopath. Oh, these are, whoa, a genius, a werewolf, a furry. Can you actually be a furry? So this is the one I looked up. I think, whoa. Like if these were mine, you should be afraid of me. I might be a narcissist, a sociopath, lesbian, psychopath, witch, narcissist, Reddit. What does that mean? Okay, so if you look at the very bottom one, that is funny to me. I think I might be a tapestry of quiet desperation. Would you say that is an accurate description of me? Those that know me, better say no. Okay, what would aliens look like? What would a chair look like if your knees bent the other way? Okay, that's weird. What would Audrey do? Who's Audrey? What would an engineer use a breadboard for? Then I have all these weird ones with government shutdown. I don't know what a 7 would. I guess that's golf. But aliens, what would a wormhole look like? What would an antimatter bomb do? And then this one was interesting. What would Adam and Eve look like? It's very weird questions, don't you think? Why are the dolphins dying? The bees dying? Ocean salty? And why are the Kardashians famous? I really want to know that question myself. So I had all these. Why are there flies in my house? Why are there mosquitoes in my house? Why are the Dodgers in the wild card? Why are the Jets so bad? It's just so funny. Why are there no basements in Arizona? Why are the rocks in Sedona red? Why do they call them wisdom teeth? Why are the flags at half-mast? Do you know why they call them wisdom teeth? I should have looked that up. This is, I'm getting to one that Pam's going to like here in a minute. It's strange. Okay, sometimes when I'm alone, I use Comic Sans. Oh, don't we all? Don't we all, my friend? Yeah. Sometimes when I'm alone, I Google myself. Sometimes when I'm driving on the road at night, no idea. Sometimes alone, I wonder. So the one I looked up, I missed that one. So this is another one. She called me a dork, adorable, a friend, a jerk. I looked up, she called me a noble steed, adorable, a good boy, a fascist Barbie. It's got to be like one of my favorite ones. She called me a fascist Barbie. And then there's the rest of them you can read. Okay, so here's can I eat my cat? Okay, gross. Himalayan salt lamp. My period? What? What? Don't you think that's creepy? Can I eat my SCOBY? What is that? I don't know what that is. You guys are going to have to tell me. So mine is gross too. Can I eat my poop? Can I eat my chicken's first egg? Like very first egg? My aloe plant booger is gross. Chipotle bowl cold. Dead skin. So there's 2 Chipotle questions. So a lot of people have been looking that up. Okay. Why don't spiders move? Sparklers burn you. Spiders eat ants. Spells work. And then the one I looked up, why don't spiders like mint? Why don't spiders eat ants? Why don't sparks hurt? Why don't spray bottles work? Why don't spiders have wings? Why don't Sphinx cats have whiskers? Why don't space wolves have successors? What's a space wolf? Is this like some weird reference that I don't get? Why don't spiders stick to their webs? So see, some of these are fun, funny, whatever. I'm almost done. Why can't I own a Canadian? Hey, Pam, can you tell me the reason why? Why can't I own a tank or a Skyline or a red panda? But particularly when I put it in, it said again, why can't I own a Canadian? Now, Pam, if you know this answer, it's going to be interesting because I had to look it up. So then there's these things like a crow, a raven, a raccoon. I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. Origin. How is that part of what can you own? Okay, so I was very curious about the why can't I own a Canadian question. And it actually comes from a talk show that was a while back, Dr. Laura, and it has to do with a biblical reference. So hang on, I lost my place here. And here it is. So the phrase, why can't I own a Canadian, comes from a satirical letter that pokes fun at people who use Old Testament Bible verses to justify modern rules or morality. It points out that if someone takes the Bible literally, like the verses in Leviticus that mention owning slaves from other nations, then jokingly they should also be able to own Canadians. It's basically a humorous way to show how inconsistent that kind of literal interpretation can be. One of the things I looked up, it said owning people from adjoining nations or something. So they like said something about Mexico too. So then it just turned into this huge satirical thing. Because I was like, what? I had never heard that. I'd never heard that. So Pam, have you heard that? This is what happens in these searches. Okay, I think we're almost done. Why aren't there guns in Harry Potter? E grades, B batteries, dinosaur ghosts. Why aren't there dinosaur ghosts? That's a very good question. Pam says, not sure if people can afford a Canadian in the captive state. That's absolutely true. Good one. Okay, so when I looked up says, why aren't there B batteries, basements in Arizona, basements in Texas, seatbelts on school buses, basements, California, the South? Why aren't there serial killers anymore? Why aren't there serial killers anymore? Pretty sure there are serial killers still. Why aren't there 13 months? What a question. Why aren't there any left-handed catchers? I bet there are. I bet this person didn't look it up, but neither did I, so I'll be fair about that. Okay, Google. Will you marry me? Will you be my friend? Will you not load? Will you take over the world? So I put in Google will not open, not let my sign in. Will marry me again. Not open full screen, not save passwords. Pam says, note to self, delete my search history. I know, but that's what I was talking about. This is not stuff I've looked up. You'd see a little thing. It's just bizarre. It's just because you know how they do that with the famous people like autocomplete. Like Chris Hemsworth reads his autocompletes, you know? So, but that is really funny. I thought the same thing. Google will not save passwords. Yes, it will. Google will never call you. Will not verify my business. So that one's not that creative. Unicorns in the Bible are real, are jerks. Okay, so I put up, mine came out unicorns and rainbows, unicorns in the Bible, blah, blah, blah. Unicorns, OSRS. What is that? Unicorns killed my girlfriend? What? Unicorns are the worst? I don't think so. I don't think Scotland would have taken them as its national animal if they did. Okay, what are these? And then you just put something like, what are these strong guys or something? What are these strong guys or something? What are these strange sounds heard around the world? What are strawberries doing on Google? Wait till you see what came up when I put it in. Okay, just wait. What are these storage areas called? Okay, look at mine. What are these strawberries doing on my nipples? If I have to be asking that, I've got some other serious problems. Okay, what are these strange markings? Strange markings, Scooby-Doo. Okay, then there's another strong guys or something. What are these structures? Class 9. What are these stars? What are these stones? Okay, these are sad. Why is my goldfish swimming upside down, turning black, turning white, not moving? Couldn't you come to an obvious conclusion about that? So I did that. Same kind of answers. Why is he swimming upside down, laying at the bottom of the tank? Why is my goldfish plant? I don't know about a goldfish plant swimming sideways. Why is my goldfish not moving? All those are pretty sad, I think. And then I think I'm going to come to the ones where I Googled myself here. Yeah. Who is Katie Horgan? And then it says married to, dating, Google, in Arizona, Google search, and then Horgany, and then Horganized. One time, you know, because people have like their last names like Linda Lister, listing all your homes. And I'm like, I'm so jealous of people that have these last names. What can you do with Horgan? I put it in, I mean, besides the obvious jokes, I put it into ChatGPT and it said something like, organize your success. So I thought that was funny that came out. Hey, get organized, would you? And then I put in, why does Katie Horgan have, it says an accent, a different name, a black guy, so much money? I know. Why do I have so much money? I'm going to manifest that now, right? So basically, That's it. I wanted to do this tonight because my mom had to go in the hospital and then she came out and then she had to go in again. I think everything's going to be fine. We're figuring everything out, you know. I just needed to keep it light. So with this weird, quirky Google autocorrects, what does it tell us? Well, it just tells us we're curious as humans. We're sometimes accidentally brilliant, and sometimes we're just totally weird, right? So it's just Google. All right. So hey, thanks for sticking with me. Maybe I'll dive into the story about why can't I own a Canadian, but I don't really think I need to because I don't need to own a Canadian. Right? Oh, Pam says, I just Googled me and I died on January 30th, 2025. Wow. I knew something felt a little off. Okay. Well, do you remember when I was talking about the theories that people have and we're living in it? We actually died in 2012 and we've been living in this glitched universe. Maybe that's true. Wow. That's kind of sad, Pam. So put in why does Pam Turnbull and then see what it ends with. That's kind of funny. You can email me here if you want to. Let me give you some final thoughts. Just have fun with it. Don't be so serious all the time. You know, we don't know what's coming. So just do whatever the hell you want within reason and be nice. Like and subscribe because it'll make Sid Scotch and his tiny Heidi very happy. He also says the journey begins with you. So be good to yourself. And Oregon loves you. That's me. Peace. I was going to say peace out. Peace and love. So I'll see you next week, which will be the week before the World Championships and the Highland Games. I should talk about that. Boy, I really did not have a good weekend last weekend, but that's okay. So I'll see you next week, guys.